Capcom just accidentally revealed a huge part of Resident Evil 9 that we weren't supposed to notice, and no one's really talking about it. But just listen to these clips back to back.
I'll go get help. It can't be that much further to the rendezvous.
Hey, I just got a report of a missing police officer.
They sound strangely similar, don't they? Well, whether you're convinced right now or not, by the end of the video you sure will be, because we have a lot to unpack. So without any further ado, let's get into it. I made a video yesterday where I basically said everything I'm going to be saying in the first 2 to 3 minutes of this video, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I took it down. So if you already saw that video, just bear with me for the first 2 to 3 minutes, and I promise the content after that will be worth it. And if you didn't see that video, then sorry for interrupting this one, and I'll get to it now. When I first watched the trailer, I assumed the voice was Ingrid Hunnigan, but it didn't take me long to realize that that's clearly not her voice or cadence at all. And while analyzing the trailer for my breakdown video, I searched for characters who would fit that voice, and the first one that came to mind was Sherry Birkin. And after listening to a bunch of voice clips from different TV shows, games, social media posts, and interviews, I could say with 99% certainty that those two clips I just played are the same voice actress named Eden Regal. But my mission wasn't over, because I still wasn't satisfied with that, as it leaves a little room for doubt since it's not officially confirmed by the actress or the company in charge of making the game. So I dug deeper to try to prove this theory correct and ended up finding actual visual confirmation within the trailer itself. But before we get into that, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to help me reach 10,000 by the time Resident Evil 9 releases. Thank you very much, and now let's get back to the video. During the second half of the trailer, after Leon's reveal, we could see him being tracked by his supervisor, which would usually be Hunnigan. But when you take a closer look, you'll realize that Ingrid Hunnigan is not the one we see here. While it looks as though Capcom purposefully blurred her out, we could still see that the woman watching over Leon here has short blonde hair. And look at the only lady in the series with short blonde hair. Yup, and as we know from Resident Evil 6, Sherry is actively working for the DSO, the same branch of the US government that Leon works for. So with all these things piling up, it's sure looking more and more likely that we will be seeing Sherry in Resident Evil 9, although the developers explicitly stated that Leon and Grace will be the only playable characters in the game. That doesn't mean that we won't see more characters returning, as that same developer in that same interview, and the same sentence as a matter of fact, said that he would be leaving the question unanswered for now when he was asked about more characters from past games returning. Which is interesting, because just a little while back, when the producer of Resident Evil 9, Masato Kamizawa, was asked about returning characters, he said, quote, "I would say that yes, there are going to be some returning characters from the past series, but don't over-expect or hype it. We can't promise you anything about that, but the only thing we could say is that there will be characters who have been involved in the Raccoon City incident." And yeah, you can brush this off as him talking about Leon, which is pretty obvious that he is, but keep in mind that he did say characters and not a character. So that leaves the door open for anyone who was involved in the Raccoon City incident. But with everything we've discussed so far in this video, it's looking a lot like Sherry Birkin will be returning, as her father did create the G virus, and he helped create the T virus, which caused the entire outbreak in the first place. So it's not like she doesn't have any significance to the story, but with her being in Resident Evil 9, it just raises another question. Why is she in Resident Evil 9, and what would she be doing? I mean, clearly she works for the DSO and is going to be supervising Leon, but I would like to theorize a little bit if you guys will give me the chance. I think we'll be seeing the main villain of this game, whether that be Victor Gideon or somebody else, abusing the G virus in some way. It may be to create a new virus strain, a new BOW, or maybe even this villain, whoever they may be, evolve the G virus in such a way to where they can infect themselves and gain powers without losing their life or consciousness. And since we know Victor Gideon worked for Umbrella during their last years and ended up with a bunch of their resources after the company shut down, including but not limited to a giant hospital/medical facility, it wouldn't be a stretch to say he got his hands on some kind of virus sample while digging around through Umbrella's scraps. And in this case, he would have close to 30 years to perfect the virus and make it suitable for his experiments. And once the DSO gets a hold of this information, they would call in their agent with the most knowledge and experience with the G virus, with that being Sherry Birkin, the daughter of the man who created it and survivor of an infection with with the G virus. They would most likely send Leon out on the field to investigate while keeping Sherry at the office to do more research, where she would find out about Victor Gideon and his ties to Umbrella. Soon after finding this out, she would notify Leon, as we hear in the trailer right here.
The team has settled on a person of interest. Someone with ties to Umbrella. Victor Gideon. Victor purchased a building after Umbrella went under. I'll send you the address.
After being made aware of the situation, Leon heads into Raccoon City to find the hospital, while Sherry assumes a Hunnigan-like position, supervising Leon every step of the way while simultaneously looking for any new info she could find. Fearing the worst, Sherry advises Leon not to do anything stupid, but he clearly doesn't listen, as not long after this he winds up infected with this new variant of the G virus. By the way, the Leon is infected theory isn't just something I pulled out of nowhere. This is also a highly speculated theory with a lot of evidence to back it up, so I'd suggest looking into that after watching this video. Anyway, Leon ends up infected with this new strain of the G virus, and the only way to save him would be to make a vaccine using the blood of both Sherry and Grace, as this new version of the G virus can't be cured by the simple antibodies that Sherry carries, and we already know Grace's blood is special, as Victor Gideon has been trying to get his hands on it throughout the whole game. Here's where one of two things will take place. Either they successfully make a cure and Leon is saved, or the highly theorized outcome of Leon's death takes place and Sherry needs to step in for the last few minutes of the game. But since we know she won't be a playable character, she might just be playing second fiddle to Grace as some sort of partner NPC similar to Louise during the cabin fight of RE4 Remake. But in this scenario, Sherry's help would be very instrumental in defeating Victor Gideon, or whoever the final boss of this game may be. Even if it's just like Ada at the end of Resident Evil 4, where she helps out a little bit and then throws down a rocket launcher for you to finish the job. And in the case of Leon surviving, I think she'll still have some kind of big moment towards the end of the game after they make the cure, where she'll either bring the cure directly to Leon or help him and Grace defeat the final boss in some way. But either way, I think Sherry will be very important to the story of Resident Evil 9, especially the ending. And I hope I provided enough info during the first part of the video to actually convince you guys that Sherry's the one that we're hearing in the trailer, because personally, I'm 100% convinced that that's who it is. This video could either age amazingly or horribly depending on the events that actually unfold within the game, but that was my extremely long answer to the question, who was talking to Leon in Resident Evil 9's trailer? If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to help me reach 10,000 by the time Resident Evil 9 releases, and with all that being said, I'll see you all in the next episode of Bagels Battles.
Sitting backseat driving me, I had to take the wheel, check to pass me, rhyming, see I always kept it real. They gon' ask me why I'm here, I just do what I feel. Took the back street grind and put the pedal to the steel.